Okay, let's quickly go through these questions and give you some answers here. You already have the answers, but this is where you get a little bit of my commentary and some insight into how I make these quizzes. So Aromee is a quirky child. Someone who's quirky is odd, kind of out there, strange maybe. So the best answer is going to be peculiar right there. He could not forbear a smile. Well, if you forbear something, that means you kind of hold off and you don't do it, you don't engage in it. So the best choice here is going to be he could not restrain a smile. So in fact, this guy's actually smiling because of the word not here. Number 3, Jafar has a mordant sense of humor. Whenever you see a word like this, probably the first word that comes to your mind is morbid, which is actually wrong. Just because two words look the same doesn't mean they have the same meaning. So actually what this means is caustic or kind of like a very cutting sense of humor, kind of making maybe people feel bad at times, but pretty witty. So the best answer here is going to be biting. He has a biting sense of humor. There was a hodgepodge of styles. A hodgepodge is just like a random mix of things. There's really not much order to it. The trick answer is incongruity, which, a hodgepodge might have a lot of incongruous elements, but that's not really the meaning of hodgepodge. And another thing you'll notice is plethora and host have the same meaning. Whenever two words have the same meaning, they both can't be correct, so you can cross them out. Correct answer is going to be jumble here. All right, number 5, it was a feeble effort. I'm pretty sure most of us know this word. It was a weak effort. It wasn't a very good effort. This organization accepts only the most erudite. Basically, you remember that book? What was it called? It was that Hunger Games ripoff book. They made some movies out of it, but it wasn't very successful. And I think like the third or fourth movie was actually like a made-for-TV home movie kind of thing because the first two did so poorly in the theater. Anyway, I forget the name. But one of the groups in that book was called the erudite, if I believed. And what it basically means is knowledgeable, academic, scholarly. So the best answer is going to be learned here. The effect was largely deleterious, not sure about the pronunciation, but I am sure of the meaning. It basically means harmful. What's the best choice of these 5 Ds that means harmful? It'd be damaging. Camille is known for her circumspect nature. A person who's circumspect is very cautious, very careful. You'll notice you don't see any of those words, but you do see a synonym, wary. Don't confuse this with the word weary, which means tired. GRE loves to kind of throw those both at you because they're pretty confusing. All right, number 9, most consider the object a trifle. Typically, we see this word in its adjective form, like it's a trifling matter, something like that. And basically what it means is it's unimportant. It's an unimportant thing. Salary is commensurate with work ethic. Basically, when one goes up, the other one goes up. So they parallel each other. So of the 5, the best choice is going to be proportional to. She's often had mercenary motives. Now, the trick answer is A. So mercenaries are usually aggressive because they're basically paid to go to war. But first of all, this is not a noun, it's an adjective. And number 2, notice I use the word paid to go to war, like as in money. So the best choice of the 5 is going to be venal. So basically, they're in it for the money. They're in it for the money. So that's why the correct answer here is C. Number 12, we're in a precarious position. If you're in a precarious position, I like to think you're on the edge. You're about to fall off, about to have a really bad day. So the best answer is insecure, kind of dangerous position. All right, 13, this society relishes boorish behavior. So for some reason, this society likes negative behavior. So you can go ahead and cross out everything that's positive. Oops, let's use red. Courteous, audacious. Yeah, that could be positive, right? Reverent. So the best answer is going to be rude. And the best choice for rude or kind of impolite is coarse. The claims were repudiated. Basically, they were proven false, or they were contradicted, or they were challenged. So of the 5, the best choice is going to be disputed. I will brook alternative approaches. This is what GRE will throw at you. See, this word looks simple, but the meaning is not simple. And unless you kind of come across this word somewhere, it's very difficult to know its meaning. And what it actually means is tolerate. So if you brook something, kind of you deal with it, you handle it. All right. 16, the situation is turbulent. I just like to think of an airplane. I'm not a big fan of flying, with the turbulence. So the best choice here is going to be chaotic. 17, the land is fecund or fecund, something like that. Basically, this land is very productive. It produces a lot. It's very fertile. So the best choice is going to be fruitful. The host elicited questions from the audience. Basically, when you elicit something and you're like the speaker or the host, you're kind of motivating or encouraging people to speak out. You're kind of leading the charge in order to get them to speak out. So answered kind of fits, but not really. The best choice here is going to be drew out, kind of like make the questions come out of the audience. 19, the students were quite impetuous. Somebody who is impetuous is impulsive. They don't give a lot of care or a lot of attention to what they're doing. So of the 5, the best choice is going to be rash. The book has an edifying quality to it. This is one of those words, at least in my case, I didn't know the meaning until I kind of started messing around with GRE. And edification or edifying basically means education, or you're learning something. So if you look at these 5 choices, instructive is going to be the best choice here. 21, we have a cordial relationship. We have a good relationship. It's not bad. We have a nice, pleasant relationship. Supply outstripped demand. Outstripped just means to be higher than or to go past. So if you look at these 5, the best one is going to be surpassed. One must always be meticulous. I think most of us know the meaning of meticulous in that it's detailed or detail-oriented. But you'll notice you don't see that. So what I would recommend doing is just eliminating. Conniving means I'm trying to trick people. Frank means honest. Conspicuous means noticeable. Stylish means stylish. So the best answer is conscientious here. A dichotomy is present. Well, a dichotomy is just a difference, right? It's just when 2 things are separate or there's a big gap between them, a gulf between them. So the best choice of the 5 is going to be a contrast. Okay, almost done. Her approach has always been haphazard. Basically careless, random, doesn't really follow a pattern. So the best choice is going to be unsystematic. The administration is not known for its comity, friendliness, politeness, consideration of other people. So the best choice is going to be courtesy here. Yuko interjected a felicitous comment. Now, felicitous is a tricky one because it has 2 meanings. And one meaning can be like fortunate or like opportune. And another meaning can be like apt or suitable or appropriate. So the best case here is appropriate. 28, the project was impeded by the mayor. We know this word mostly from the noun form, the impediment. It's an obstacle. So the best choice is going to be here, handicapped. Whenever you use handicap as a verb, you basically mean you hinder it or you slow it down. So it's the closest meaning with impede. All right, 2 more. Tact is important. You'll often see this word in its adjectives forms, like, for example, tactless basically means to not have tact. So what is tact? Well, tact is basically thinking about other people, kind of being delicate, being discerning, being sensitive, kind of knowing how other people feel. So the best answer here is going to be consideration. And then finally, Dad is irascible today. He gets angry easily. Correct answer is ill-tempered. All right, so that is number 9. So number 9, so we got 9 times 30, that's 270. We're making progress here. So the next one is going to be number 10. We're going to hit the big 300. If you haven't done so already, I encourage you to do all of the vocabulary quizzes. So right now we have 1 to 9. And the words I put on here are typically words that are relatively high frequency. The chance you run into them on the GRE is pretty high. You're not going to see these really super, super obscure words on these quizzes. So anyway, that's it for this quiz. You guys know how to reach me. Greg Matt, testing. gmail.com. All right, until next time, guys. See you later.